I'm going to talk for a minute. I was just thinking about something being in my mother's neighborhood. It's kind of a rough neighborhood, very high crime neighborhood. Probably not that high as people think, but still higher than the rest of the city. But I think that one of the things I'm learning is when I grew up in a very high crime area, a very rough neighborhood, I realized something. So many people live in fear. You know, I think the one thing is, why fear? And I think even those people who run around intimidating people are fearful. I think one thing about bullies, and I was thinking, because somebody, there was a bunch of people, and several people have made a lot of videos reacting to the woman who committed suicide because she was being bullied, the young lady who did that. And I was thinking, about something, about when I was growing up in school and I was bullied by people, And I think that people who are bullies are people who are themselves afraid. They're people who lack confidence. I think we all know that. I think we've said, people have said that so much. I think we kind of come to that conclusion without any doubt. That people who are bullies are themselves people who have issues, insecurities, and things like that. But I think what they try to do is they try to build up their confidence by bullying somebody. If you can intimidate this person, you feel confident. And if you can intimidate that person, you feel more confident. And their attempts are at trying to build up their confidence. But they never succeed at doing it. I think that's the one truth about people who are bullies. And I think a lot of time people do that on YouTube. There are users who try to abuse and bully other users. People do that. They try to bully other people. They try to do, many times, sometimes not through threats or anything, but sometimes through humiliation or trying to embarrass people or, all kind of things. Or making all kind of rude statements and comments or talking about someone being ugly or fat or something like that or whatever. People do that. People spend a great deal of time trying to do that because it's a way of building up confidence in themselves. That's the attempt. It's a very weak attempt. It's a very unsuccessful attempt. Because they're not succeeding in building up confidence. If they could really build up real, genuine confidence, they wouldn't need to bully. You don't need to bully people when you have confidence. When you have confidence in who you are, you don't need to do that. There are methods of building confidence that does not require that you have to hurt other people or humiliate other people or, do things to put other people down. That's just, that's not an effective way of doing something. I've learned a lot of stuff that helped me build confidence, certain attitudes, certain ways in which I've looked at things. And also giving myself challenges, overcoming obstacles in life, overcoming difficulties and problems and things like that. When I went back to school, way back when I went to college, after being out for a while, going back to school, and then doing well in school, actually focusing on things, making up my mind that instead of getting bad grades like I had done before, I'm going to do things to get good grades. And that helped me to build up confidence, to focus and to do and to really sit down and study. Learning languages, teaching myself to speak languages back in the days when I didn't have a job, and now I'm not going to have a job again because I'm being, laid off. But it's a challenge. And you got to have confidence to deal with those things. And because it's scary, the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen is scary. I think for a lot of young people, especially, the future is uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen. And different people handle it differently. Some people, when things are uncertain, sometimes for some people, they rise to the top. They focus and they do things and they move in a direction that moves them up in life. Other people turn to violence when they're afraid. Because they think they're dominating over other people. And that's the whole thing. If I can dominate over everybody, if I can dominate over the world, then, that's going to make me feel confident. And it doesn't. It just breeds more fear. Because you wind up in an environment with other people who are thinking the same way. They're trying to dominate over you. And that's why I think people like that wind up being in violent situations, violent environments. Because this is a big battle of egos and trying to dominate over people. Instead of learning what I would like to refer to as self-mastery, learning to self-improvement, self-mastery, learning things as I've done. I've done these type of things. I've studied stuff. I've learned things. I've taught myself. I've painted things. At some point, I think I'm going to show some of my painted rocks. I love to paint. You can do a lot of things to build your confidence. There are healthy ways of building your confidence, and then there are unhealthy ways. And I think that bullying people is an unhealthy way of building confidence. It's unhealthy psychologically, and of course, it's going to lead you to other problems. To a lot of other problems, a lot of social problems you're going to have, and a lot of suffering and pain. And that's basically what I wanted to say about that. There's a lot of lessons I've learned in life. But, building up confidence is important. And doing it in a healthy way is important.